It's the Gimme Five podcast with me, Rod Woodward, Gary Marshall, and we're getting down to business now because we have been joined by our special guest, and he's had a big build-up this week. And not only that, we're all dressed for the occasion. Gaz is looking crisp and white, and I've got my limited edition Welsh shirt on, and there's very good reason for it. Why is that, Gaz?
Well, it's because he's, in my eyes, he's the only South Yorkshireman that's been capped for Wales.
That is a claim to fame. Half Yorkshire, half Welsh. They said it couldn't be done. A very, very big hello to our friend and yours, Mark Crossley.
Afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon, Norm.
Yeah. What do you like? Big Norm, best Norm? Do you like? I know we mentioned that you've got all these different sort of handles now. The Paddy McGuinness sort of look-alike as well, which you get a lot of, don't you?
Yeah, I mean that started. Nicknames has just been a thing that I just tend to have been drawn to. I had loads of nicknames as a player at Nottingham Forest by Brian Clough mainly. Shithouse, Imbecile, Barnsley, which is where Jigsaw. He used to call me Jigsaw.
Why Jigsaw?
Well, I didn't know. He just started calling it me, so I thought I have to go and see him, see why he keeps calling me all these names. I'm getting a bit sick of it. So then I went to see his secretary and asked if I could see him. And I got invited down to his office to see him and to ask him why he calls me Jigsaw. And I knocked on his office door and he invited me in. And I went to see him, and he basically stood there in his rugby shirt, green sweater, blue tracky bottoms, pair of wellies on, tennis racket in his hand. And he said, "What can I do for you, shithouse?" I said, "Why are you calling me all these nicknames? And especially, why have you started to call me Jigsaw?" He said, "Son, every time the ball comes in the box, you go to bloody pieces." So then that's a nickname. But Big Norm is the one everybody calls me.
Will people know why?
Well, it's been mentioned that it was because of all the mistakes I used to make when I play in goal that Norman Wisdom they thought was one, which that's not true.
That's not true, no.
There's Big Norm that sits at the end of the bar in Cheers.
George Vent, yeah.
Was that? I like a drink, but that's not true. But when I had the curly hair and the locks and half looks, Stuart Pearce, our captain at Nottingham Forest, he decided that I looked like Norman Whiteside.
Right.
So he started to call me Big Norm, and it just stuck from there. So I'm known in the game as Big Norm.
Wow.
Big
wow.
Norm. Well, you mentioned Cloughie there. I mean, what a character. I mean, was he as lively as people imagine he was? I mean, he's a legend to everybody who hasn't met him, but you knew him personally. What was he like?
I had 6 years with him. He gave me my debut in professional football, so I owe a lot to him. But having moved on from him being my first manager and then 21 others after that as a player, when I look back, there was only one. There was only one great one, and that was him. And he was... The best way to describe him is intimidating, I would say. A lot of people say, "Oh, are you scared of him?" Everybody seems to be scared. We weren't scared of him. We were more in awe of him than scared of him. But it could be a little bit intimidating at times. And until you worked with him for quite a long period of time, you worked out his ways and the way that it was all psychological with him. It was all a test.
Right.
Test you in certain areas. Like, for instance, he got me to sign a blank contract. I went in the room and I was intimidated by the fact that he put a blank contract in front of me. Although he'd said to me, "I'm going to give you a new contract," when the time came and that moment when you're in his office, and no football agents back then, no mobile phones, couldn't call anybody, couldn't pick the phone up and say, "What do you think?" So he put a blank contract in front of me and said, "Sign that and I'll fill it in." I said, "Gaffer, I can't sign that. Sign it or piss off and play for Barnsley." So So then he'd asked me to leave his office. He says, you've got 5 minutes to think about it. So you leave his office and stood in the corridor. I have nowhere to go. I don't know where to go. And he's in his office and he's shouting, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, shit house. 3 minutes. So then I've got to go back in the room in his office and I actually then signed the contract, a blank contract. And then he calls me home that night and says, thank you for agreeing to play with me for the next 4 years. It'll be a pleasure to work with you, young man. Your contract's ready. I've filled it in. It's signed off. It's gone off to the FA. Pick it up from the secretary's office tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Did he rip you off money-wise, or was it a decent contract?
It was about right. It was about right. Because we had Steve Stone, Ian Wone and Scott Gemmell, all the same age. All players that had come through the youth team that had all signed professional contracts.
Yeah.
And it was like, back then you said, what you getting, how much you're earning, what you're doing. And it was about 500 quid. So, but also, if you played so many games in the first team, he'd rip it up and he'd give you a new one. So, it was... And just signing that blank contract, that built that instant trust. He thought, well, he's signed a blank contract. I can now trust him. I know that he wants to do it because he wants to play football for me. And on the other hand, you trusted him to fill that contract in properly for you, which he did.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
brilliant.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here, Norm? I've given you the list of categories to select. You've picked 4, and then of course we finish off with your best dinner guests, dead or alive. But before we start that, me and Rob were talking pre-show about Santa Claus and who was the person who actually told you that Santa Claus wasn't real. I want to know.
Yeah,
Brian Clough, was it?
It wasn't. I was 18 when I signed for him, so it just passed me by then. I can imagine Cloughie saying it. He isn't real, son. He isn't real.
You're living in cuckoo land. That's horrendous, isn't it? That's
Nanu.
No, I think in my case it was like, well, your mates at school saying he's not real. He's not real. Yeah, he is. No, he's not. Yeah. It got round the school playground before parents. I think as a parent, I still do it with my lad now. I try and make him think that obviously he's still real.
Yeah, Alison Sharp told me over the back wall. Devastating.
Right, reminded me, guys, and he is 10. I want to go downstairs and tell him that he's not real after this.
So you should. There's an age. My grandson's 11, and I think he still thinks this Father Christmas.
I don't think your grandson should be getting any gifts until he learns how to stick stickers in properly. Anyway,
it's the different one. It's a different one. That. Oh, by the way, where's my sticker of it?
Have a look at this, Norm.
I'll get this. I'll find it. 1 minute. Is it that one? Keep talking. I'll find it.
Well, he's got a whole whatever the collective noun for sticker bookers is. Sticker bookers. He's whatever it is. He's got it. He's had Brazil out here. I thought he was showing me a picture of you in a Wales sticker book, but then we haven't qualified since 1958 for a major tournament, so I knew it couldn't possibly be Wales. So, but it's not. Here it is. Look at that.
Oh, we got it, guys.
Yeah.
No, I can't see you.
You can't see me?
Oh, there we go.
What about that?
Have a look at that.
Yes.
Looking good. It's like looking in a mirror.
Did you ever swap? Did you ever do any swaps with me, guys?
No one wanted to do no.
I want to do no.
Robert Rosario was your biggie.
Who was?
Robert Rosario.
Big Bob Rosario. Big Bob.
Stickers here. Tommy Wright, Des Little, Steve Chettle, Colin Cooper, Stuart Pearce, Carl Tyler. Was he Barnsley?
Yeah.
Yeah. David Phillips, Scott Gemmell, Lars Bohinen.
Oh, what a player he was.
Stevie Stone, Ian Wone, Kingsley Black.
Stevie Stone, Ian Wone. Got to have a system.
That's how I remember him. Collie Moore. He's in the car park in this one, though. Jason Lee, Robert Rosario, Alfinger Haaland. I forgot he played for you all lot.
Alfinger Haaland, that sounds like a bloody sexual offence, doesn't it?
Alfinger Haaland.
His lad's doing really well at the moment. His boys playing up front, I think. Is it for Borussia? Yeah.
Hell of a player.
Yeah.
Ireland, didn't it?
Alfie Haaland's the one that Roy Keane had all the trouble with.
Yeah. He broke his leg, didn't
he? Yeah. And then took revenge.
Yeah, he did.
Revenge, yes. And how?
But was that, guys? About 94?
Yeah, that is 90. That's 95. Premier League 95. That. So yeah, 94-95 season.
We got to the quarter-final of the. It wasn't called the European Cup then. I forgot what it was. We got knocked out by Bayern Munich that year.
Really?
There's no shame in that.
Yeah, we got to the quarter-finals. Yeah.
That's pretty decent, isn't it? Eh?
And we got knocked out to like Klinsmann, Mateus. Remember all them?
Walter Mateus.
Yeah. Oliver
Kahn in nets.
Yeah. Swapped shirts with him. Still got the shirt.
You still got it?
Yeah. But there were no names. Well, no names, I don't think, on the back of the shirts then.
Right.
I personally won't be listening to the Gimme Five podcast because I haven't seen Gimme 1, 2, 3, or 4.
With your group, was that your sportsmen? You picked sportsmen. So your top 5 sportsmen, no.
Number 1.
Yep.
You probably know him. I've mentioned him already.
Yep.
Brian Clough.
Yeah.
Brian Clough.
He'd have to be there, wouldn't he? He would have to be there. Do you think there's any sort of modern day equivalent to him? Who's the closest to him?
I think you'd probably have to say Mourinho, especially when he first come over.
I thought you were going to say that, yeah.
It was kind of like all about him, when I'm the special one. And Cloughie used to, well, that famous quote, innit? I'm not the best manager in the world, but I'm definitely in the top 1.
It's beautiful.
There's an aura, and there's an aura about certain people. There was an aura about Cloughie for definite.
I think there's a lot of managers that are coaches, and that's the way the game's going now. So they're regarded as head coach.
Yeah. Whereas
then he was a manager, and he managed the club from top to bottom. He managed chairman. He managed, So I just think I don't think there's ever anyone like him. I think Fergie was probably a little bit close to him as well, and obviously, he was more successful. But as far as entertainment value and on interviews, and you can still look back at him now and still piss yourself laughing, like how he had people in his pocket whenever he wanted them to, But working with him on a day-to-day basis, you just never knew what to expect.
But to take a team like Nottingham Forest to win 2 European Cups and only to win the First Division once is unbelievable. How can you win 2 European titles and only win your domestic league? It's unbelievable.
It is.
It is, and I think it all boils down to the way that he managed people. And he never coached. He wasn't a coach. He never coached anybody. He played 4-4-2. It never changed. And what he used to do, he used to sign players that fitted into the way that he wanted to play.
Yeah.
So if he was the best player in the world, but he couldn't play in a 4-4-2 system, he wouldn't sign him. It'd be pointless because you'd be playing out of position.
John McGovern's like the point, in it. Never capped for Scotland and lifted the European Cup twice.
That's unbelievable,
isn't it?
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
Who's your number 2, Norm?
Number 2 is Mike Tyson.
Oh, right, Iron Mike.
I just think when the heavyweight boxing was, when he was around, I just couldn't believe how powerful and a bee animal he was. And, I've just been watching the documentary there with him and Frank Bruno, and amazing when you look back at it.
He was scary, wasn't he?
Scary is what he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was a scary heavyweight.
I went to
feeling he was going to kill you, didn't he? If anyone had got in the ring with him, you'd be scared for your life.
Yeah.
In his prime.
But I went to watch him once, and it was in Manchester, GMX Arena, and I can't remember the British guy who he fought, but the British guy had been sponsored by the Daily Mirror, and he had the mirror. Let's remember it. he had the mirror on the soles of his shoes. Because he knew
was it?
He knew him. He'd been paid a fortune to have the mirror on the bottom of his boot because he knew he was going to knock out. And I think he lasted something like 1 minute and 3 seconds. So he paid about 200 quid for the ticket for 1 minute and 3 seconds.
He's definitely mellowed though, hasn't he? He's like, you put a bit of Phil Collins on and he's right there, isn't he?
He is. I think that he seems the type of guy that he just turn that light switch on when he gets in the ring, and there's just this animal appears from anywhere. I used to love watching him.
Yeah, quality. Number 3, Norm?
Number 3, I've gone for Usain Bolt.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love my athletics, to be fair. So, yeah, go on.
Love the athletics. Think it's just remarkable how the bloke can run, to be honest. Not only 100 metres, 200 metres, and I think what I like about him is he seems this like such a laid-back character, and nothing seems to be too much trouble. I just love him. Every time he's on, I just can't wait to watch him.
Definitely a big personality, Annie. Definitely
you find that with a lot of these legendary sports people, don't you? They've almost got like a personality, a charisma that transcends sport.
Yeah.
They're just a complete package. You very rarely find an all-time great who's a bit of a wet blanket, do you?
No, unless you go back to snooker, to the Steve Davis years and all that, like. But yeah, like even like Ronnie O'Sullivan. Now though, it's like he's changed the face of snooker, hasn't he? And he was close to getting in as well, Ronnie.
But to be, I mean, yeah, if he's not in the tournament, if he gets knocked out of the tournament, I don't even watch it anymore.
Turn it off.
Yeah, because he is box office, isn't he, O'Sullivan?
Yeah. I ain't got it now. Next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Frankie Dettori.
Oh yeah.
Again, we just mentioned it, haven't we? Personality, where he jumps off the horse and all that. But I love my horse racing, always have done. And I think for me, over the past however many years, he's been number one. Love his personality. Love the way he rides. Love him as a jockey.
Question of Sport captain as well, wasn't he? Was he? He was captain of Question of Sport, wasn't he? Frankie Dettori.
Can't remember that.
He's
you been on Question of Sport now?
Captain. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't get on?
No, never got on.
Oh, embarrassing.
No.
Wish I'd not brought it up now.
I know, yeah, I'm gutted now. Can we turn off?
I think if you play the Welsh card, you might get on there.
Yeah.
Were you on the Magnificent Seven? Did you have the accumulator that day?
No, I didn't.
Didn't bet one of them.
I bet a couple of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
I know the last one. Remember the last one? The seventh was 25-1 in the morning. It came down to like 5-4 favourite because all the bookies wanted it. They couldn't have it going off anything like, and it wins by about a length and a half, doesn't it?
You think it were fixed? That's the big question.
The massive question.
We should have asked Matt Letizia that when we had him
on.
He's big on conspiracies, isn't he?
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
And your final one for this round?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger.
There you go. Yeah.
I love golf. Love my golf. Can't wait to play tomorrow. Love my golf and for him. Pardon?
What do you play off?
10.2.
Oh, decent then. Yeah.
But at my course, I'm off 12 at the moment because it's got all this new world golf handicap.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that tomorrow. And Tiger Woods just being the best, and he's the first black guy really in golf to step up to the mark. And when everybody thought he'd finished and he come back and won at Augusta, that was
a special moment, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was.
We had Matt on. We've had Matt on. He mentioned the best course he's played. What's the best course you've played, Noam?
I played Doral in Miami.
Right.
Doral.
Doral. It's called Doral. Greg Norman designed it. What?
That's a jingle that we've been using on the show in previous incarnations. But yeah, anytime anyone drops a good name, it's
Oh.
Oh, just pick that name up. The Doral.
That's a pretty impressive course, mind.
Loch Lomond. I played Loch Lomond. That's nice.
Ooh, that looks lovely.
Got a 620 something yard par 5. That has.
Jesus.
I got on in one. Wind
Put
against.
the ball in your pocket.
Wind against.
That's Loch Lomond's got a bit of a reputation for being like the British Augusta, hasn't it? Insofar as you just can't get on there for love nor money, you almost need. How did you get to play that place?
It was a guy. It was through a friend of a friend, basically. Yeah, and you're right. You can't play it, and I think you can be a member there, but you're only allowed to play so many times a year, and it costs absolute fortune.
Yeah. I bet the members of these places have lots of friends, don't they?
Yeah, I was lucky to get on through a friend of a friend through a business company.
It's probably the most picturesque, isn't it, of the British golf courses.
Beautiful, unbelievable.
I think Gimme Five would be my favourite podcast. If I only listened to a podcast.
So now we're going to go on to your top 5 films of all time.
Films. Okay. Number 1.
Silence of the Lambs?
Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
The first film I actually shit myself to, and then I put it on and I still hide behind the pillar when half the time when he's getting him in the van and all that. No, I loved it. I love Anthony Hopkins. I think he's brilliant.
I saw an interview with Anthony Hopkins, and he said that he had gone just after the film came out. He'd never actually seen the full edit, so he'd gone to a little movie house in downtown Hollywood, and he just sat in the back. And as people were filing out, obviously very severely affected by what they'd just seen, he was just sat there, with the light on him. And hello, totally freaked everyone out.
Nah, I love it. I watched it about a month ago as well. Again, I've watched it about 15, 20 times. I must have. But yeah,
you like the films, don't you?
Love my films.
Yeah. What was his thing he wanted to eat?
Oh, some
with some Chianti.
I ate his liver. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice
beachfront. A nice beachfront Chianti from Aldi.
A beachfront Chianti from Aldi's. Yes. Yeah. We've just been on about this because, Norm, you were kitted out with biscuits and that from Aldi's, weren't you, before we went live? And, yeah, here they are. Look at these. Look at those rascals.
Quadruple chocolate. Oh, my God. These are amazing.
I mean, we're not looking for sponsorship, Aldi, but,
No,
well,
but listen, they're the type of biscuits that you have one of them and you feel sick.
Well, I think with Aldi's, you've got to know what you're looking for because they've got like little tribute acts, like little German tribute act versions of the chocolates they're supposed to be, haven't they? So, for instance, like Mars Bar is a Titan.
Yeah.
I think Twix is a Jive. Bounty's a Romeo, and like my nana got into some trouble because she had some contractors working around there. So she'd go out the garden and quite innocently say, cup of tea. Ah, yeah, cup of tea. Do you fancy a Jive? And he'd be like, well, hey, what? You like a dance? And she said, no. It's, it's like a Twix, a Jive here, And then the following day she was like, Romeo. And he's like, oh, me? And he's, no, not you. I mean, do you want a Romeo? But it obviously all hit the fan when she said, hey, she said, I got a nice Titan for you.
Yeah, but it was your nana. We knew that was wrong.
Yeah, my granddad jumped in and said, of course, it was a lot tighter back in the day.
The cheeky monkey.
Cheeky monkey. Oh, is that one of theirs, is it?
That's one of theirs. It's their Ben and Jerry's.
It's absolute flagrant rip-off, isn't it? I mean, it's
brilliant.
Like the beachfront's an exact copy of the Barefoot, the way it looks and everything, but In fairness, it tastes
It's
just as good.
outstanding.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they do memory foam slippers.
I know.
As far as the Titan's concerned, don't knock it until you've tried it. That's what I'd say.
So we've done Silence of the Lambs. What's your
Number
second?
two. Well, it should be number one, actually. I should have said
I know
it
what
first.
you're going to say.
Kez.
Kez. Hey, Gaz stuck his neck out, and he did predict that this, and he's not all that good with predictions. If Matt Letizier's week was anything to go by, but he nailed that one. He said, "I bet you Kez is up there."
I said it was number one, though. That's the thing. That's the worst thing about it.
Did you back it each way, though?
No, I didn't, because it was odds on.
Oh.
Kez, what can I say about it? Because it was filmed in my local area. The guy that wrote the book, Kestrel for a Knave, used to live next door but one to where I live now. So we had a little walk on the route, didn't we, Gaz?
We did. You took me past some ruins.
Yeah, that's where he actually got the young Kestrel out, when he climbed up and got the young Kestrel.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know this and have not watched it, will they?
No, David Bradley, I believe the young man. Hardly did anything else after that, did he, David Bradley?
He's still around. He still does signings in local areas and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right, bloody hell.
So yeah, I mean, it's ask any South Yorkshireman about Kez, and they'll just repeat the film word for word.
especially the football game,
the football match with Brian
Glover,
genius.
Oh God, just a brilliant thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
He misses the penalty. Takes it
that boys how to take a penalty. Look one way, kick the other.
What's happened to your iPhone?
It must be an Aldi's one.
Somebody's ringing me. Somebody was ringing me. Sorry.
I think that
he's out to take a penalty.
It's an Aldi's J phone that he's got there.
Look one way, kick the other.
Look one way. It was a great film because it had so many different. It was it made you laugh, it made you cry, and it was poignant. It had everything. Yeah, it was a great film.
Our tough times really were mining community. My favourite part of the film is like when his brother he sets off to work and goes down the mine, and he leaves 2 shillings on the side, and he leaves a little note saying, "Go to the bookies and put me a bet on these 2 horses." I can't remember. The second was called Tell him he's dead. The second was called Tell him he's dead. So the young lad goes in the bookies and he says to this old guy that sat there reading a racing post, whatever, do you think these horses have got any chance? He says, "Oh, I think that one's got a chance." He says, "But tell him he's dead." He says, "Nah, it's got no chance." So anyway, they both won, but he didn't put the bet on. He kept the money.
Was he going to get 16 quid or something? Could have had a week off work, wasn't it?
That's right. He could have all his time off work. Anyway, he didn't put the bet on and spent it on fish and chips, which the chip shop is just across the road from where I live here, and a quarter of beef for the bird. With the van outside was selling the beef. And when he gets home, he finds out that the brothers killed his bird.
God. Was it? That was horrible, wasn't it? To be fair, it was a great film. And that, as a young lad, that was a horrible watch. That end when he's looking in dustbin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Two quite disturbing films in a way, really. Silence of the Lambs and Kez.
Yeah.
Number 3 then, Rod. What's your number 3?
Wait till you hear the next one, Rod. It's even more disturbing.
Go on then. Let's have it. Go on.
No, number 3, Twin Town.
Oh yes, Twin Town. Our producer Ian Parsons is a big Twin Town fan. He's Welsh and he loves that. And he's in fact he knows a few of the guys who are involved in the making of that, and we've been talking about it because there's talk of a sequel. No,
really?
Yeah.
Some of the best comedy, like unbelievable in that film. And the reason I say is because every time we used to meet up with a Welsh squad back in the day in the 90s, we'd have like a couple of days spare. And what you'd end up doing, you just end up hanging around in the hotel and Manager didn't really like you going into town. Didn't mind us going to cinema and stuff, but we used to have a big room at the Vale of Glamorgan Hotel, and it was made into like our cinema room, basically. And Gary Speed used to be in charge of the films. He was captain. He'd be in charge of the films, right? So like 7 o'clock after the meeting tonight, film on. Anybody wants to be there. Most people will be there. Every single time you walked in the room, there was only one film ever being played, and that was Twin. And the worst thing about it is we watched it that often that all the lads were repeating the words word for word as the film's actually being played. So I got kind of attached to the film, but some of the comedy in that film, when you watch it and then you watch it again, you don't realise actually how much you've just missed in the first time. And the more and more you watch it, the comedy that's in it is brilliant. My favourite scene is the little bit about the glue, where the grandpa's got the Airfix modelling glue and he thinks the two lads are going to nick it and sniff it, doesn't he? And he says, "Buy your own glue." But brilliant film. Nobody's not seen it. It's definitely worth the watch.
I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once. That's basically when it first came out on video. So I need to watch that again.
The magic mushroom scene as well with the ice cream van is like unbelievable. And then they end up on the balcony with the arms around the sheep, don't they?
Well, since Gaz has been starting to visit Wales, over the last 10, however many years we've known each other, 20 years, I think he's actually, last time we took him to the courthouse in Caerphilly on the high street there, and it was like Twin Town came to life for him, wasn't it, for that evening?
Oh, absolutely. Twin Town definitely came to life that night.
That's brilliant. The two brothers are brilliant, and Bryn Cartwright. Oh, you can just go on for ages about it.
Number 4, no.
I'm a massive fan of all the Godfather films, so I've put in the Godfather. I can't put the sequels in. I've put the Godfather because there was another one I wanted to get in there as well.
I can't say much. I said to Matt Letizia, I have never seen the Godfather.
I've seen it.
I don't know.
I've never seen it.
No. Have you seen it?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's a big commitment, Mike. It's on for a long time, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a long film, but obviously it's... I don't know how to explain it, really. It's just typifies like what obviously the mob were about back then, doesn't it?
Yeah. So emulated by so many other films, but that was the original and still the best, I think.
Yeah. And he's brilliant, Brando, isn't he? He's
just amazing.
So yeah. But I like them all. But the first one, obviously, I've put that in because I can't put them. I'm not like Tiz. Tiz put all 3 in, did he?
He put Austin Powers 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3 Austin Powers. Yeah, he did.
Well, then your final one.
My last one is the Gladiator.
Oh yes, good choice again. Brilliant choices, Norm. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
That was a classic, wasn't it?
Bit of comedy.
Yeah.
Bit of like fiction, but good fiction, and the Gladiator was brilliant. It was brilliant in
Russell Crowe.
But Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered child.
Yeah.
This life for the next. I will have my vengeance.
And that film, it's true, isn't it? That Oliver Reed actually died in that film, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
While filming.
Yeah, whilst making it.
And they CGI'd him, didn't they?
Yeah.
So if there's ever an issue with either of us being here, guys, that's the sort of technology we can be using. Ian can get the grip of that. He can computer generate one of us or both of us.
Yeah. So yeah, there's my 5. I like the Gladiator itself, didn't it? I mean, it's a great film.
I love listening to the Gimme Five podcast. My wife, on the other hand, she's not so keen. Luckily, she have got her own radio.
I'm going to go straight onto your singers / groups, your top 5. Now, I know you're a massive music buff.
Yeah.
So, come on then.
This was the hard. This was the hardest because I like that many groups, bands, singers. But my favourite group of all time are a band called Shed 7.
Shed 7, you say?
Shed 7. Now, they're the band that obviously done all the Chasing Rainbows as their most famous song, which has been used for a lot of the NHS stuff while we've been through all this pandemic and stuff. But I got to meet. Here we go. Things that I regret, like being cold enough, like the one another.
I knew you'd choose this.
I just thought.
Well, it's great because people won't know, they might not know about Twin Town, and they certainly might not know about Shed 7. So for once, this show's been educational.
Yeah.
It's nice, mind. I think this is the one I saw one of your Twitter videos, and you were on the bag. Were you giving it a bit of...
Yeah,
in the garage?
Punch bag Shed 7.
Alexa, volume 2.
Yeah, good tune.
Good.
Great band, best band I've probably, along with this next group, best band I've ever seen live, and I've seen some bands, but Shed 7, brilliant live band.
Where are they from, Norm?
They're from York.
All right, okay.
I got to meet the lead singer. I've become friends with the lead singer just through. Do you remember the old program used to be on telly, Chris Evans, TFI Friday?
TFI Friday, yeah.
We were lucky enough to go down and get in the bar upstairs there, and Shed 7 were playing that night. So I got to meet Rick Witter, the lead singer, and we kind of like stayed in touch ever since. And in lockdown, he's done a few live things, and I've helped him with his radio station and that. So we've become like friends. So, and I'm not being biased because I know him, but they are a brilliant band.
Yeah, I know you've championed them for a long time. So
yeah.
Go on, who's number 2?
Stereophonics.
Oh,
Bloody Welsh again.
it's brilliant, this. Hey, what a show. What a show.
Started off with a York band, so that's okay, it's fine.
Yeah, Kelly Jones got one of the best voices in music.
Yeah. She's great, isn't she?
She's brilliant. She's quite fit as well. But no, brilliant. I've seen them loads of times, and we got to meet them as well through being with the Welsh squad. We got to meet the band. They used to come and watch us train quite a bit because Gary Speedy, massive into his music, played the guitar. He's really good on the guitar, Gary, but he was a shit singer. And my room was next to him. I used to go mad banging on that wall. I didn't mind the guitar and all that, so you could, nod along. But once he started singing, Jesus. But we got to meet the band. We got to meet them. They used to come and watch training. They joined in a couple of times. And I got on really well with their old drummer called Stuart Cable. I got on really well with him. And
sad loss.
Aye?
Yeah, very tragic loss. And
yeah, it was. But no, another brilliant band. So
they were on. They were 3 in 10 on Popmaster last week. Stereophonics. Did you play Popmaster, Mark?
No.
Oh God! 10:30, Radio 2, Monday to Friday. It's a pop quiz, and then whoever wins has to name. They'll give you a band, an artist, or group, and you've got to name 3 top 40 songs in 10 seconds. Anyway, and today's 3 in 10 is Stereophonics.
Right.
I said handbags and glad rags. That's the only one I could get.
Dakota is the main one, isn't it? There's hundreds of.
Was that their only number 1, Dakota?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it could have been, actually. That's a good question, that. That is a good question.
Bang on.
Bartender and the fish.
Stuart Cable he joined our golf society. We got this thing called the Wedges, the Welsh Entertainers Golf Society, and he joined, and it was riotous when he was there. He was just like a catalyst for everyone to have a great time. And he was playing Saint Pierre, and all of a sudden he got caught short. He needed a number 2, and he went in the bushes, and obviously nobody had any paper, so he used his golf towel beautiful golf towel that he had, which he then put in the bin on the on the 10th tee. And then after they were in there, the greenkeeper came over and said, "By the way, one of you lads has lost this."
I don't recognise the badge.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that, Rod, because I played golf at Wheatley with an ex Premier League goalkeeper, and he got cut short and had to go in the trees for a number 2. Can't remember who it was exactly. Barnsley, played for Wales.
I always take toilet roll with me though, guys. That's because it's a regular occasion. That is.
I think that was on the 12th at Wheatley. That. If
it's coming, it's coming. You know, when the turtle's head's touching cloth, mate, you can't get. Sometimes you can't get back there.
Touching cloth. Yeah, that's what Stuart Cable was doing in the end, touching cloth.
Number 3, then. No,
I reckon that's one I've never heard before. We ought to get together a collection of these metaphors that people use on the show, because we've had
touching cloth.
Touching cloth. Is that a northern thing?
It must be a northern thing. That it's well and truly northern. That.
Have you heard that one, Ian? Just give us a nod. Is that a new one? No, it's definitely a northern thing then. Definitely northern. It's a bit posh for us on here.
Oasis.
Oh.
As you can tell, I'm into my indie music more than anything. But yeah. Oh, I love Liam Gallagher. Again, it's about personality. Love his personality. I just wish they would get back together so we could see him one final time. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
I don't know. I think they will. You know.
Do you?
I do. I think they will. It'll be massive because it's. I don't know. I don't think they're falling out as badly as it is. I think it could be a ploy to get them all.
Yeah.
To be fair, it'd be nice if they did, wouldn't it? It'd be brilliant if they did.
I took my daughter a few years ago to see Ian Brown, Stone Roses.
Stone Roses, yeah.
At Manchester City Stadium, and that's where our last seen Oasis play was at the Manchester City Stadium, and I just thought I kind of wish that was Oasis up there. Although I like Stone Roses, I wish it was Oasis up there. But I love Oasis. I love Liam Gallagher.
I enjoyed his recent stuff, Liam Gallagher.
Great.
And I also like Noel's High Flying Birds. I'd probably like them separate better than Oasis. I'm probably the only person in the world that does that.
No, they are good. No, they're really, really good, both of them. But they were better. They were more entertaining when they were together, weren't they?
Yeah. Just because you like your indie music so much, there's every expense we've gone to just to make you welcome. Bit of indie music. I love having Alexa with me for this show.
She's good, isn't she?
She is.
Not as fit as Kelly, but
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, I wonder why you went mute then for a minute.
I thought, hey, there's an opportunity here. It's not every day you have Alexa sat with you.
The next one, it goes without saying, so going to a totally different style of music. Elvis Presley, brought up with him, brought up by because mum and dad were always at work, brought up by grandparents. Every single day in the house, record player on, Elvis Presley.
Oh. Norm, ask me if I can do an impression of Elvis.
Gary, Marshall, can you do an impression of Elvis?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. That shouldn't have been as funny as that, but it was.
I'm finished now. I'm happy with that.
My granddad's favourite song was a song called I Just Can't Help Believing. So that has now become my karaoke song.
And don't I know it?
Yeah.
Monday Club karaoke song.
We got a great one in Wales, the tribute act, Elvis Presley. He's fantastic.
I've
And
seen
you know,
you.
this is a fact, Norm. Every year, you would love it. You want to bring the family down to Wales. I think it's in September. They have the annual Elvis Presley convention in Porthcawl, and it's the second biggest in the world outside of Vegas now.
Yeah, we've got some friends who go on holiday from with every year from Swans. We met on holiday a few years ago, and they keep saying exactly the same thing. So you got to come down to the Elvis convention.
Yeah.
What month's that on again, Rod?
September.
Busy.
Few bookings started coming in.
Yeah. September's going to be massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
September.
September.
So your final singer or group?
And again, just going back to old days, and one of my dad's favourites as well, Kenny Rogers.
Oh,
good show.
That's another one I've lost. I thought Neil Diamond would be an A, but Kenny Rogers.
You can only put 5 in, can't you? And I couldn't.
Exactly.
I could not leave out. Couldn't leave Elsie. And again, Neil Diamond, Johnny Cash, love them all. But
these are all ones you've ironed to, I've noticed.
Kenny Rogers, the ironing scene. Hey, I couldn't believe that. About 150,000.
Did it? What song was it? Was it
The Gambler?
The Gambler. I thought it was The Gambler, yeah.
On a warm summer's evening. You're going to put that on that bloody Alexa now, aren't you?
Yeah, I ought to. Alexa, play The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
The
Adam's
Gambler by Kenny Rogers on Amazon Music.
It's coming.
Yeah, here we go.
Great song.
On a warm summer's
Sounds like evening.
on a train bound
No way.
midnight with
Get them creases out.
so
Yeah.
turns
I got told after that, guys, that I've got to start ironing t-shirts inside out, otherwise I would probably mark them.
Did they?
began to speak. He said, son, I need a life.
Look at that. Just at the cost of delivery. Boom.
Delivery?
The cards were
Cost of delivery.
held there.
What's wrong with your kettle?
So if you
I don't know.
say it,
I never get that when you go into these and it's like the end of the day, or maybe just after lunchtime even, and you say, can I have a cup of tea, and they go, we've just switched the machine off. They always say that in Glamores.
They did that when I went to see my granddad in hospital.
Why can't they switch it back on? It's a kettle, isn't it? Just flick the switch.
Or relax.
It's coming up to the chorus. We're coming in with you on the chorus. We're going in with the chorus big time, guys. How many times? Nowhere to hold them. Nowhere to hold them. Nowhere to
Nowhere to go.
your blessing. Yeah.
Oh, you won't believe how many phone
Thank you,
calls,
Kenny.
like usually late at night, when this song's been played in someone's household.
Yeah.
So you answer the phone and it's The Gambler, and them singing The Gambler to me. Come on, Norm, go ahead.
Kenny, stop. Oh, no, Alexa, stop.
Stop. Is he with you?
Kenny's here. Kenny's here.
Stop.
Someone's killed Kenny.
By the way, I've had it confirmed. Dakota was Stereophonics only #1.
Oh, yes, bonus point.
Yes,
I find that really hard to believe because they're a brilliant band.
yeah. So you've got your TV programs now. I'm interested to find out what you like watching now.
Well, I'm going to go for like one at the moment, which I absolutely love, Line of Duty. I love it.
It's the greatest piece of television in the history of television.
There's a lot of acronyms in there, though, aren't there? You've got to really be with it when you're watching it. If you can't go make a cup of tea or anything, because like there's one this week in there, not jizz, chiz, chiz, C-H-I-S.
Before we go any further, Norm, right? Are you one of these? Can you watch Line of Duty week by week, or are you like me? You've got to wait till the end and then binge it.
The first 4 series binged.
Yeah.
This one, because I know I'm having to watch it. because I love it that much. I can't wait. It's on tonight, isn't it?
I don't go on Twitter on a Sunday or a Monday now.
Line of Duty. I'll tell you a story. Vicky McClure, who played Kate, is it in there? Kate. Yeah. Vicky McClure is the wife of a good friend of mine, and you probably know him. He's from the Valleys, from Merthyr. He's a director at Nottingham Forest. His name's Johnny Owen.
Oh, he's director of Nottingham Forest.
Johnny Owen's a director at Forest, and Johnny Owen did the movie I Believe in Miracles.
That's
about
brilliant. That's brilliant.
So Johnny Owen is the wife of, the husband of Vicky McClure.
Wow.
She was in This Is England, wasn't she? Vicky McClure.
Yeah.
Great actress.
Brilliant.
Yeah. 6 degrees of separation, isn't it?
I think Gimme Five would be my favourite podcast. If I only listened to a podcast.
Go on, number 2.
It's just been played on television again.
Oh, I know it is.
Fawlty Towers.
Oh, I've just started watching it again.
And that's what, when I was doing this, writing this down yesterday, I thought, I've been watching it recently and I'm laughing even more than the first time.
Said the same to my missus. I said, it's timeless, isn't it? It's absolutely timeless.
Brilliant.
All right, man.
John Cleese, anyway, is one of my favourites anyway, like brilliant. But all of them.
Manuel Orange.
That was the last one that I just watched.
Yeah. I'll have a gin and orange.
The fella was pretending to be somebody else who he wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, it's magnificent. It's magnificent.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to be a bit boring here, but Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Love it. I don't have to say too much about it, really. It's just one of the all-time classics, isn't it?
My favourite scene from Fools and Horses with the chandeliers. I thought that was.
Yeah.
I think it's better than going through when he goes through the bar. I think the chandelier scene is one of the finest comedy scenes.
Yeah.
Ever.
It was just brilliantly done because they didn't give it away, did they? They didn't telegraph it.
No,
not at all. And then they panned out, didn't they? So you could see 2 and brilliant.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah, go on then. Number 4.
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, that's coming back for series
6, is it, or 7?
That's coming. Yes.
I've heard a little rumor they're going to be doing a film as well.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a bit of a heartthrob now, isn't he? The fellow that plays Tommy Shelby. Is it Kieran?
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a massive heartthrob, isn't he now? A bit like myself.
Yeah.
He was in a film we watched the night before last. I can't think what it was, with Luke Evans. I don't think it was. It could have been a classic, but yeah, he was sort of around for a few years and then disappeared, didn't he? And then Peaky Blinders came on, and he's flavour of the month now.
Yeah.
Did you know? It's something you may not know. Cillian Murphy had smoked over 3,000 cigarettes over the course of filming, just by the end of season 2.
Wow. God.
I'm just a font of knowledge.
That's brilliant. That is great.
They've constantly got him in the mouth, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's just there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the same one, and they just kept cutting it.
3,000 cigarettes. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed that one. And my last one, my favourite one, guys, of this is, and I'm not a massive fan of him.
Go on.
He used to annoy me, but he's grown on me. But the programme he's just done recently, Afterlife, was absolutely unbelievable.
Do you know something?
Ricky Gervais.
I've loved everything he's been in. I thought The Office was brilliant. I thought Extras was better, and Afterlife is just brilliant. You couldn't see anyone else playing him. I
sadness like that in comedy, and I just it's just unbelievable. And I thought actually the second series was actually better than the first.
I think you're probably right. The third series on the way.
I think that's when I'm the only one in our house that actually watched it. but I couldn't get the missus to watch it.
Have you watched that yet, Rob?
No, I've not seen it. It's on the list.
Oh,
It's on the list.
there's 2 series. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll
The
give
guy
it.
that Postman plays a brilliant part in it as well.
Joe Wilkinson, yeah.
He comes to, he ends up in, he let himself in and had a bath in his house, didn't he? Yeah, it's class. It's brilliant.
The brilliant thing about Gervais is he gives the better lines to other people. I think that's the brilliance of him.
Very generous, yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
But that part where he walks past the kid in the playground, I'm thinking, how's he got away with that? I had to keep rewinding it, saying, no, he never just said that, and he did. He walks past this little ginger guy kid in the playground, and the little ginger kid shouts, "Pedo, pedo!" And he goes over to the fence and he goes, "If I was a pedo, I won't come after you, you little ginger."
Oh my God! I will definitely. I won't watch it with with a family, but it'll be
Well, you've got to watch it with the family.
Is it? Yeah.
There's not much of that in it.
The last time my last in memory of taking Naomi to the cinema was taking her with my father to see the original Borat, and there was that scene where they're both rolling around bollock naked. And Naomi's like this, and my father's like, "Who chose this?"
Borat. Hey, just while we're on that Borat, there, Jimmy Bullard signed for Fulham, and when we used to go training, we used to meet on these steps, and the manager Chris Coleman would come down and go, "Right, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do a warm up over there with the fitness coach, then you're going to come over to the first team coach and you're going to go through some tactics and all that. Then you're going to come to me and we're going to go 11v11. That's what you're doing today. Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? Jimmy not here. Where's Jimmy? So first day signing, Jimmy Bullard, first day. So he wasn't on the steps for the meeting, 10:30, should have been there. So fine straight away anyway. So off we go. Nobody knows where he is. So off we go, training, go over to the fitness guy to do our warm-up and everything. And Jimmy runs around the back of the building and he comes to join in with the group and he's got the green Borat outfit on.
With a mankini.
Yeah, and his boots, just his boots and the mankini. First day time for the football club. Didn't even know anybody. That was one of the good moments on the training ground, that was.
Well, the final section is one that we ask everybody, and it's your top 5 dinner guests that can be dead or alive. Take it away.
I'm guessing Cloughie's in there.
Yeah.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Do.
Because I'd love to see him again. I'd love to. There's a few questions I'd like to ask him. Entertainment value, and I think with the other guests that I've actually got at the table, I can just picture his face looking at some of them and thinking, what are these all about? But he'll be disappointed that I never had Frank Sinatra on here because he was his
Frank.
Yeah.
I love Frank.
Loved Frank Sinatra, he did. So Stuart Pearce used to be captain of that, and we used to have all punk music. Stuart Pearce liked his punk music.
Yeah.
So like the dressing room on a match day, we'd have, he'd be in charge. He'd put Sex Pistols on and all that and Cloughie used to walk in and he used to turn it off, and he used to have a little tape in his pocket and he'd put the tape and fret, sit down, everybody sit down. So you sit down and he'd go, fly me to the moon. She'd gone from frigging in the rigging to fly me to the moon.
Bit of alliteration, you can't fault it.
So yeah, I'd have Cloughie on there, definitely. I've always been a bit fan. He's really, really, really crude, but I really do like his stuff. So I've gone for Bernard Manning because I could just see Cloughie.
Bernard and Brian would be outstanding.
Hey, can you imagine that?
Yeah, Bernard and Brian together, brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the crudeness, and Cloughie be looking at him disgustingly, but really wanting.
When you talk about timing, gag timing, for me, top 3 of all time. Bernard Manning, timing a gag, doesn't waste doesn't waste a word. Outstanding. Whatever you thought of him as a pure comedian with great timing, fantastic.
Top 3 of all time. Who were the other 2?
I don't know. It could be number 1. Well, Mick Miller's up there, isn't he? If that sort of comic, Mick Miller would be up there.
Yeah, well, yeah. Tell me Robin Williams is up there. Oh, don't be afraid.
I didn't get him. I still don't get him, Robin Williams. But yeah, but Bernard Manning, different class.
Yeah.
So I've gone for a couple that we've mentioned before. I'd love to have Elvis Presley on there.
That's the second time Elvis has appeared, because he appeared in Matt Letizier's as well.
Did he really? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things like he'd be entertaining. He'd be the singer, wouldn't he? We'd have Bernard Manning and then we'd have Cloughie giving out the orders. So yeah, then we'd have.
I don't want to tee you up, but can we put Elvis on the list?
What?
I say, can we put him on the list?
Yeah, you can do.
I was expecting it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And that face as well. Hey, that is, and the eyes,
What's on the menu, by the way? I'm taking burgers and must be on the menu for this now. Elvis is here.
Burgers. I always think of that Frank Skinner thing. He said,
oh yeah, brilliant.
Great routine. He said he used to eat so many burgers in the end that when they laid him out in state in Memphis, they didn't put him in a coffin, but they put him on a big fucking bap.
Yeah. And someone just came across and laid a dill pickle on him, didn't they? Or something?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Go on then. 2 more to go.
I've gone for Liam Gallagher.
Yeah.
This will be an interesting dinner party. This.
Yeah. Cloughie wouldn't like him having his coat off.
In Liam Gallagher.
Yeah. Shit house. Take your coat off.
Hey, get your haircut, son. If you like to be at the same table as me, get your fucking haircut. Yeah, I'd like to see him on there. And I've gone for my crush as my last one. As a young lad growing up, we all have a crush. My crush was Nicole Kidman.
Really?
Yes. Does it?
Yeah.
Or did it for me?
Did you? What's that recent one she was in with Hugh Grant? Did you see that one? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, series, wasn't it? No.
Yeah.
Forgotten.
Ian must know. Please, Ian, type it on. Yeah. Was it Unforgotten? No, it's not. That's on now.
No. It'd be ironic if it was.
Unbroken.
Unbroken.
I think that's the one. Fair play. Yeah.
I think it could be. Yeah, it was good that. And she was in Pretty Little Lies recently as well. She's
still looking good.
I like her.
Good actress.
Matt's only female was Shania Twain. He said she wouldn't have to speak. The Undoing, I think it was called.
Oh, The Undoing.
Undoing.
Just came to me when Ian typed it up.
Yeah. There's shades of us doing.
Like 3,000 cigarettes.
I wondered what kept coming up on the bottom of my screen there.
This takes me back to doing the pub quiz with Gaz in Bay's Leg where I am, and he's like, "No, I can't quite think of it. It'll come to me once I've been to the toilet. It'll come to me."
Yeah, I always thought a lot better in quizzes after I've had a shit.
Do you find that helps the Wi-Fi signal?
There we go. Brian Clough, Bernard Manning, Elvis Presley, Liam Gallagher, Nicole Kidman, and Mark Crossley at the dinner table.
Superb. What an evening that would be. And what a session this has been on the Gimme Five podcast. Hey, it's an absolute delight to have your company, Norm. Really good of you to join us, and I hope you'll find time to pay us a visit here again in Podcast Corner when you get a spare 5. No pun intended.
Do I have to change them then, do I, or just keep the same ones?
No, we could keep the same ones, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We could just
do it again.
I'll have a few quid on it.
Just do a different order, people will forget.
Yeah.
But it's lovely to see you, mate. And hopefully, I know you're a big advocate of. We talked about music earlier on, and you're doing great things with the Walk-ins charity and the music. And generally, you're an advocate of this positive mental thinking and staying positive in times like this. Have you found it a lot easier this last few months with the thought that we're on the way out?
I think there's you just look at people around you, don't you? And I mean, we got this Walk-ins brilliant together just through like people being in the public eye, really, and people that that have been quite open with the struggles. So, but I think now we've got this little bit of, everybody seems to have a spring in the step. We see people out now walking about, they seem to be walking a bit quicker because there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, it's good. But we've got obviously this walk planned for the mental health charity, and we're hoping to go on and do Kilimanjaro next year now. So, but we'll see what happens.
Well, keep us posted, and good luck with everything you're doing. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, on, mate. Yeah, appreciate it.
I'll get out for a walk with you soon. Now we can.
Yeah, groups of 6.
Groups of 6, and hopefully I'll try and get across to Tankers lift for a knock as well. Now my shoulder's back right.
Yeah, defo, mate. Yeah, look forward to it.
All right, pal. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Cheers, lads.
Too much time on your hands you must have, as listening to the Gimme Five podcast you are.
Well, it's a bit of a cliche, I know, but time definitely does fly, doesn't it, Gaz, when you're having that much fun? That was about an hour.
That was brilliant.
Just incredible. Loads in there, a real eclectic mix. We had a bit of Brian Clough, a bit of Shed 7. Kez got a mention. We even had a sing-along, didn't we, with Kenny Rogers. This is a recap for people who might just skip to the end and think, yeah, I'll watch that. And even a bit of indie music. So we had the whole caboodle there. And we'll be doing the same again very shortly. So if you have a mind, by all means, join us. We got loads of great guests coming up on Gimme Five. But for the meantime, thank you very much for your company. Big thanks to my partner in crime, Gary Marshall, and special thanks to our producer, Ian Parsons. This has been a Tis Done production. Over and out. No.
No.